It's the TV of old, and it's lost on the children. They have YouTube, Hulu, Netflix, and HDTV to enjoy their entertainment. People don't schedule their lives around a TV show anymore. Well, that is unless it's The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones, because they don't want to be spoiled from Facebook. So with that, let's take a look at 10 things you will not see on a TV program anymore. Well, unless somebody is parodying it. You know, I love it when a modern TV show, they don't have that sound or visual for an item, so they use something from the past. For example, a smartphone will never have a dial tone or busy signal when somebody hangs up on you. Although you can get your HD TV to do it, that being static, or what I like to call a whole bunch of people passing juggling pins across the screen, it's pretty much gone. Unless you have a TV channel that still broadcasts in the analog format, you don't even have that half-tone static that would fade in and out of your TV set. You know, I suppose if a TV station has to go off the air, they might play a test signal. However, they may be more apt to have a coming soon graphic on the screen to keep people informed. Test signals were an important thing back then to fine-tune cameras for the channel itself. In the early video days, a test signal actually would be placed in front of the camera as the program started. Digital signals are calibrated in other ways other than the naked eye, and when I experienced the 4K TV, their test signals basically arose over a waterfall. It's Crazy Hal's Midnight Scream, or some other late night show that maybe even followed up from pop-up videos. Always brought to you by the local appliance or grocery store. The weekly show would have a character in face paint and creepy looking room moderating the TV movie of the week, some gore-fest thing. Perfect movie to fall asleep to. No more Zamfir, no more Glenn Campbell, no more Lawrence Welk. The 3-minute best of commercials on 8-track, cassette, vinyl, CD, and DVD have basically been replaced by digital versions. Same thing goes with the slap chops and other items for the most part. They've been ported into 30-minute infomercials because they cost the same price and more eyes can see it. If you ever did see an infomercial in today's day and time, you probably would not be given a mailing address. You pay by website, an email, or phone number. It was basically the only way to get those greatest hits. And of course, absolutely no COD. Speaking of which, bonus points if you can tell me what COD actually means. You know, when a TV channel broke, a please stand by card was put up. As a kid, we took that literally and actually got up and stood by our TVs, just like I'm doing right now. Those were the days. Well, you know, when a camera or film was fixed, and yeah, it was film in some cases, the card would go down and we'd go back to our pre-adolescent selves, waiting for the card to come back so we could get our exercise for the day. Teens from the 70s and 80s. If you watch TV news, it has a completely different look and feel than days of past. Even the old action news themes have been replaced by music that doesn't always scream 11 p.m. newscast. The only green screen in most stations is for the weatherman. Overlays have been replaced by HD TVs that do the same job. And interesting enough, before overlays, people stood behind sets pulling cards out of the viewer area. But never will you hear the sound of a typewriter in the distance, not even a clicky key computer, keyboard, teleprompter, or even one of the teletypes. And the telephone, push button or rotary, has pretty much been replaced by iPads and, well, nothing. Sometimes before the please stand by graphic comes up, you might actually see the film go up in flames. The iconic stutter as the projector loses teeth grip and the film stops and then starts to burn as the lamp is too hot for the print. Kind of like this. On that same token, you won't see too many scratches, scrapes, or the occasional dust bunny float past the screen. They just don't use projectors anymore, and the old films have been digitally remastered. Sorry, bunnies. Hey, kids! You know, I lived in the Midwest, therefore I got to watch WGN and Bozo the Clown every morning. Those were the days. These shows even got mocked by The Simpsons, by Krusty the Clown from time to time. But what's more interesting is not the kids show itself, but the live air commercials you saw on the kids show. Alcohol and cigarettes right in between. Even the old clips of Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble having a Winston cigarette still are burned into my mind. So we've gone through 9 of them. What's the number one thing that you can remember being on TV back in the 70s and 80s? We're going to talk about that next.
We now return to Rosebud, starring Peter O'Toole and Richard Attenborough.
Finally, the true thing I miss from TV, and the reason why I created this video, was the late night sign-off. This would basically be some patriotic video with classical or American band music and shots of the US flag, soldiers, and more. That is, unless you didn't live in the United States, because that would be kind of a little bit odd. TV signals were expensive to run 24 hours a day, and the equipment would get really hot. Therefore, a station would turn off the transmitter to cool it down and save a few dollars. Then at 5:30 a.m., you would play the welcome to your day type sign, you know, with the we're located here, we're running blah, 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 all that mumbo jumbo. You know, I remember waiting through all that, waiting for the Great Space Coaster. You remember, it's the Great Space Coaster, come aboard. You know, nowadays TV stations have 3 or 4 channels running just on one signal, and it would cost more to actually power it off than to keep it running. When we switch to 4K TV, the power consumption will be even less, and you'll have more than just TV channels on your screen, including some basic internet functions. You know, I was also told rumors as a kid that terrorists would broadcast their own signal on those channel frequencies when the station was dark. I think I was just told that so I would go to bed. I spent many nights singing the national anthem. Memorizing the script, the station would always play right before the channel went static. You know, number 10 on the list. And that's my list of things missing on TV these days. Did I miss something? Let me know. Tweet me over at Geekazine or geekazine@gmail.com. Got a question? Got a list that you want me to put together? Let me know. Until next time, you guys geek out and take care.